Hi, Gretchen here with Classy Fitness. Thank you so much for joining in. We've been doing a little series based on a book that I read recently, Brendon Burchard's The Charge, and specifically how we can get a charge back in our life. Because if you're like me as a busy mom, sometimes you just feel like you're just getting by, right? And it's really hard to think of a charged and exciting life when there's just so much to do just to get through the day. So I learned some really incredible tips from his book, and that's what I want to share with you. So today I thought we would talk about, we're still talking about control, because I think for all of us moms, control's the big one, right? But today we're going to talk about his second activator, in which he talks about controlling for new. And he gives a whole bunch of tips, which they were all phenomenal tips, but most of them I had to tweak a little bit for my busy mom life, because as much as I would love to follow his tips to a T, it's just not going to happen right now. So let's get going and see what tips we can come up for us busy moms. So the first idea that he comes up with under this idea of controlling for new is simply a 90-day getaway. So is what he's suggesting is that ideally every 90 days we need to grab our spouse if we're married. If not, then you do it by yourself and you get away overnight for at least 1 to 5 days completely unplugged to just recharge your batteries. Now, as amazing as that sounds, I've got 4 young kids. And we don't have family close by. I can't just up and have an overnight with my husband every 90 days. So I had to come up with some ways that we could still implement the spirit of his 90-day getaway, but that was just more practical, more doable for us. So I came up with 3 ideas, and that's what I want to share with you today. The first is to think inside the box. Have you guys ever heard of these date boxes or date in a box? There's a whole bunch of different varieties, and basically what it is, you can sign up for a subscription, or you can sign up for just a one-time box with most of them, and you get this box in the mail, and it has everything you need for you and your husband to have a really fun date, but inside your house. Now, this was a great option for us, especially last year when my 4th was just a newborn. She was, less than a year old. I had 3 older kids, well, older, less than 10. And quite frankly, going out for the night was just too stressful on me. I just didn't feel good leaving my babies at home. So we decided that we would set the kids up with a movie in one room, and my husband and I would sneak away to the other room and do these date boxes once a month. And they were really fun. The company that we went with was actually Datebox. There's a whole bunch of different ones out there. That just happens to be the one that we chose and that we really liked. So that's a great way to maybe not have the overnight, but still be able to reconnect with your spouse. The second one is to make sure that you are budgeting for and scheduling a date night every month. Now, my husband and I have finally, after almost 12 years of marriage, gotten pretty good at budgeting. We use an app called Every Dollar. It's phenomenal. It's free. If you need one, I highly suggest it. But what we do when we're setting our budget for the month is we budget in for the cost of dinner and or an event, something that we want to do in the next 30 days, and also the cost of the sitter. So as the month is going on, we don't feel like it's something that we have to add to our budget that is kind of tight already. It's something that's already planned for, and it gives us that excuse to make sure that we're going out. Now, my kids love it too. Kids love being home with a babysitter, and they get to stay up late and watch movies. So it truly is a win-win for both of us. And there was a recent study, or a recent article published by MSU, and I just wanted to read you guys an excerpt from it. It said that children learn to bring balance to their lives when they see their parents setting aside time for what they value. And truly, so not even from a marriage perspective, but for an example for our kids. How wonderful is it for the kids to see how important our marriage is to us, so that they can hopefully follow in our footsteps as they get older. Now, the third tip, or the third kind of way that we've found to make up for that 90-day overnight that we can't really do right now, is we took another look at Gary Chapman's Love Languages. I know, this was a big book years ago, And you can get online. I'll post the link below, but you can even do this with your kids. And it was just really nice for us to redo it and just kind of remind ourselves what my language is, what my love language is, what my husband's is, what our kids are, so that we can find little ways to reconnect with each other throughout the day and throughout the week. Because again, although Brendon Burchard suggests, you know, the overnight, like completely unplugging every 90 days. We can't do it right now. So we have to be very intentional about other ways that we can find to reconnect with each other. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it short right now. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining in. And make sure you check back on Monday. We're going to talk about Brendon Burchard's next tip for controlling for new. Thanks so much for joining in and have a very blessed day. Take care.